Have you ever wondered what true courage looks like? Is it about fighting back with anger, or is there a different, more powerful kind of strength? Today, let us journey to a small village in South Africa and meet a young boy who would one day change the world with his answer to that very question. This boy's name was Nelson Mandela. As a child, he would sit captivated, listening to the elders tell stories of brave leaders who fought for justice. These tales weren't just exciting adventures, they planted a seed in young Nelson's heart. He started to dream of helping his people, not with fists and fury, but with something far more profound: wisdom and kindness. As Mandela grew up, the world he knew was far from the fair one he dreamed of. He saw injustice everywhere he looked. In his own country, people were cruelly separated just because of the color of their skin. This system, called apartheid, meant they couldn't go to the same schools, live in the same neighborhoods, or even walk freely down the same streets. It was a reality that broke his heart, and he knew deep in his soul that he had to do something to change it. Fueled by his conviction, Mandela studied tirelessly and became a lawyer. He used his knowledge of the law as his shield and sword, defending those who had been silenced and stripped of their rights. He gave a voice to the voiceless, fighting for equality in the courtrooms. But the more he fought, the more the powers that be saw him as a threat. His peaceful struggle for a just society was met with force. And then the unthinkable happened. For his belief in equality, Nelson Mandela was arrested. He was sentenced to prison, not for a year, not for 5, but for 27 long, agonizing years. Can you even begin to imagine that? Almost 3 decades of his life stolen from him, spent behind cold, unforgiving bars. It was a punishment designed to break his spirit, to extinguish the flame of hope he carried. But they underestimated the power of the human spirit. Inside that tiny cell, Mandela's body may have been captive, but his mind and his heart remained free. He refused to let bitterness take root. Instead of plotting revenge against his captors, he chose a different path. He chose to understand, to learn, and, most incredibly, to forgive. Every single day, he held on to his vision of a peaceful, united South Africa. His spirit grew stronger, not weaker, forged in the fires of solitude and injustice. He taught himself and his fellow prisoners that true freedom begins within. Finally, after 27 years, the day came. Nelson Mandela was released from prison. The world held its breath and then erupted in celebration. People expected him to be filled with rage, to call for vengeance against those who had wronged him and his people for so long. But Mandela surprised everyone. He walked out not as a man seeking revenge, but as a messenger of peace. He stood before his nation and the world and spoke of reconciliation, not retribution. He preached unity, not division. His grace and wisdom were so powerful that he brought a country once torn apart by hatred together. Nelson Mandela went on to become the first black president of South Africa, a symbol of hope and a testament to the power of forgiveness. He showed the entire world that forgiveness is a weapon more powerful than any sword, and that true courage is found in choosing peace, especially when it's the hardest thing to do. The story of Nelson Mandela teaches us a timeless lesson. Forgiveness and kindness have the power to heal even the deepest, most painful wounds. Real, lasting strength isn't found in anger or revenge, but in the quiet, unshakable power of peace. Thank you so much for joining me on this incredible story. If you were inspired by Mandela's journey, please give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe for more stories that change the way we see the world. See you next time.